37 barangays, over 150,000 people, the only city in the province of Capiz. This is Roxas City. This medium-sized city is located at the northeastern tip of Panay. It is bounded by the Visayan Sea on the north, by the municipality of Panitan on the south, by Ibisan on the west, and by Panay on the east. This city, being the capital of Capiz and the center for seafoods trade, proudly enjoys the fame of being the seafoods capital of the Philippines, since it is one of the country's biggest supplier of a variety of great-tasting seafoods. With fishing as one of the major sources of livelihood in the city, it became an agricultural ground that is moving forward towards progress. Indeed, Roxas City has gone a long way since 1951, when it was declared a chartered city. But what concerns me, though, is the mentality in most of us to be quickly rushing and be concentrated at economic progress, that we tend to disregard one of the equally significant aspects of stability, our environment. I personally think that it is always proper to pay respect and gratitude to the ones who sustain us, and for the city known as the seafoods capital of the Philippines, it is just fitting to construct means and initiatives to protect and secure the source of its pride and sustenance, the fishing grounds. With the development that our city experienced through time, how does our fishing grounds keep up with the changes? Are we still having the same kind of marine environment and resources? Or are there already silent threats concealed beneath the surface? In the old years of Capiz, far behind modernization, the rivers and seas were at its richest. Municipal and inland waters were abundant sources of marine biodiversity. Fishermen before need not go far just to get enough catch. They need not roam the vast expanse of the sea just to be able to catch fishes of different kinds. Just a few stretch from the shore and they're readily available. Mr. Juan Lorico, 70 years of age, a resident of Barangay Libas, has been in the fishing industry since the younger years of his life. He started out fishing at the age of 10, and since then, it became his family's bread and butter. His long years in this industry gave him a closer view at the capacity of the sea to provide for the people.
Duro lang ang klase panagat, kag ang malalagat damo-damo lang yan, kung ang stock sa lawon sa isda, Number 1, palupad, sipir, mga dagko lang ang panagat, porciner. Ang palupad, kag sang sipir, number 1 yung palupad, ginadrag nila sa lawon, talang isda, magyan na, mga kundamo ilang makuha, ginadjako mo na, hindi na ganyan na mukha, patay na naman si Milya, ginaura na na sa lawon. Gani, binisit niya, obra.
In the 2011 Accomplishment Report of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, they revealed figures of increased fisheries production in Region 6. According to this report, the regional fisheries performance reflected the following figures. Municipal fisheries sector produced 167,227.67 metric tons, commercial fisheries with 103,808.69 metric tons, and the aquaculture 179,849.79 metric tons of fisheries products. If the figures in municipal and commercial fisheries show a steady trend for the past 5 years, how come the fisher folks seem to have a different observation? They are saying that the fishes in the sea are becoming smaller in numbers. According to Mr. Nurius Leo V. Azarcon, Libas Fishing Port Supervising Officer, BFAR visits the port and checks from time to time the kinds of fishing gears and nets used by the fishermen. He also said that they monitor the kind of unloaded catch from vessels, making sure that no banned or endangered species are caught. We also visited the Maritime Police Headquarters in Colasi to know their part in enforcing fisheries law. PO1 Richard P. Chodosio shared a sad revelation.
Pag lumabas kami, may tatawag doon, o alis kayo dyan. Kami ang binabantayan nila. Kami, ang masama lang, mas mabibilis yung gamit nila sa amin.
Ayun nga.
Kami, single engine lang yung gamit namin sa kanila, double engine. Kami, bago kami makarating sa area, sila wala na sa area. Kaya
PO1 Chodosio's revelation explains why I saw evidences of outright violations to fishing rules at the seafood section of Chodoro Arsena's Trade Center. Juvenile fishes which were obviously caught with fine mesh nets were sold in every corner. There were even sharks and the banned rare species manta ray. These are supposed to be off the market. How come it's there? What happened to regulations, monitoring, and control? Well, it seems to me that some are not doing their job. Perhaps this could be the reason why Ross City started losing valuable resources.
Dati muna di ang ginabantog sa amon nga daragi ko ng tubo, daragi man ang tubo sa amon. Daragi na yo, sinter sa una, malam sila dito ya. So dito man niya ang bagsak ya sa POC. Pero diri sa ato niya why nagiya sa POC.
After some years without capital supply, here it is now. This supply came from Pawa Panay, which is a sad affirmation of the reality that capital is no longer found within the shores of Roa City. The decrease in marine biodiversity is not merely caused by overfishing, but by the disturbance of the marine habitat as well.
So tendency sa mga isda also. Magula man to go away to look for their shelter again. So it is really a need, to protect our mangrove areas and to rehabilitate our area in order that mapabalik na itong mga isda sa atong karagatan.
Our sea problem is a very serious problem. The threats our fishing grounds face demands for collective efforts and responsibility to take part in safeguarding the source of our subsistence. Now is the time for the fishing laws to be strictly implemented, for fishermen to think of sustainable fishing, for consumers to make conscientious choices, and for every member of the community to be active participants in the conservation and the preservation of our marine resources. If we continue to neglect this sense of urgency, I'm afraid later generations would have to live in a fishless Roa City.